Hey everyone, how are you doing? On today's video, we're gonna talk about maps in Elixir. So, what is a map? A map is a key value store of dynamic size, and you can use whatever type you want as a key or a value. Okay, so how do I create a map in Elixir? You can do it like this: map equals, and then you're gonna type %, followed by curly braces, and now we're gonna start creating fields for that map. Here I'm gonna create a field that is a string called name, and then to assign a value for that field, you need to use an arrow. So I'm gonna add an arrow and then Daniel. All right. And now if I want to create another field, I can use whatever type I want. So for the age, I'm not gonna use a string like name. I'm gonna use instead an atom. So atom age followed by an arrow and then the value. And now I'm gonna create a new field that is a number. And the value of that field is, whoops, false. I don't know. Now, this is a weird looking map, and it doesn't look very practical. Like on your daily work as a web developer, it's very unlikely that you're gonna work with a crazy map like this. But let's keep going. Okay, I defined my map. How do I access the fields of that map? You can type the name of your variable followed by brackets, and then you type the name of the field to get that value. Simple, right? So I have a field 1, the value is false. I have a field which is a name, and the name is a string, so you need to add like a brackets and then string inside very explicitly. We also have another field that is an atom, so you need to add an atom inside the brackets. Oops, sorry, not name, it is age. And as you can see, if you try to access a field that is not present inside the map, you're gonna get new. You're not gonna get an error, just new, okay? So there you go. Now, you might be thinking, well, I think this syntax looks a bit ugly, especially if you're coming from JavaScript. And yeah, I agree with you. So, is there a simpler syntax like the one for keyword lists? We had like the ugly syntax and then the beautiful one. Do we have something like this for maps? Yes, we do. Now, unfortunately, we cannot get rid of this %sign, but we can get rid of the arrows here. So the most common use case for a map is atoms as the fields and then whatever other type as the value of that field. But it's very unlikely that we're going to use a number or a string as a key for our key value pair. So I'm going to create a map once again. This time I'm going to use an atom as the fields. So I'm going to have name, and I'm going to keep using the arrow to show that this works. Name is a string, Daniel. And then we have the age, which is 26, okay? If, and you can also see that when I defined the map like this, the result is the beautiful syntax that I was about to show. If all your fields are atoms, you can define it like this. Remove the arrow, and then remove the column at the beginning of your atom, and you replace the arrow with the column. So this looks very similar to an object in JavaScript. So we have name, colon. We're going to remove it from the beginning. And there you go. Much more clear, in my opinion. And how do I access the fields if I'm using this special syntax without an arrow? Is there anything different about accessing the field? Let's check this out. If I try the old way that I just told you guys about, name, Does it work? Yes, it does. If I try to access the age, does it work? Yes. If I try to access a wrong field, it still shows the new, but you can use a simpler syntax. If your key is an atom, instead of typing map brackets colon name, I can do it like this. Remove the brackets and then add a dot between the map and the field that you're trying to access. So we have map.name, map.age. So there you go. Much better, in my opinion. It looks more beautiful, more similar to JavaScript. So yeah, I recommend you to use only atoms as your fields, and then you're gonna access like this, like pretty similar to a regular JavaScript object. Okay, so we have our map here. What are the most common operations that we're gonna do on top of maps? Well, you can try to get a field, you can add a new field to a map, and then you can edit an existing field. So let's try the first operation. How do I get a field from a map? Well, you can try to do it like the way I just told you about a couple of seconds ago. You can try to do map dot and then the name of that field. Now, if you try to access using this new syntax that I just told you about, you're gonna get an error if you try to access a field that doesn't exist. So to make our life easier and more clear about what we're trying to do, you can use some functions from the map module. So we have the map module, right? And we have a special function called get. Okay, so we can use this module to get a specific field from our map. So can we try to get the field name? Yes, we do. Can we try to get the field age? Yes. What if I try to access a wrong field? We get a new back. Okay, what if I'm trying to get a value for that map, and if it doesn't exist, I want to assign a default value? Can we do that? Yes, we can. In fact, we're gonna learn about this together on this video. So let's suppose that I want to learn how to set a default value for a map, and I don't know how to do that. Well, I showed you on one of the first videos that you can ask for help on the terminal. So we're gonna type h map.get, and then you're gonna press tab to see the suggestions. Whoa, we have lots of functions here. We have the get, which expects 2 function parameters, but we also have another get that expects 3 function parameters. Maybe this is the function that we want, because it makes sense to have 3 parameters, the third one being the default value. So let's read the documentation. You're gonna type /3, because that's the function, the map.get function, which expects 3 parameters. The arity of this function is 3. Okay, now my zoom is very crazy here. We're gonna have to scroll up. There we go. So this function, you don't even need to read the description. Just read the title. You can see that the first parameter is a map. The second one is a key. And the third one is a default. And if I don't pass anything here, it's gonna expect a default value of new. So I don't even need to read the description. Let's just try this out. So we have our map still. Okay, we're gonna try to do map.get. We're gonna call this on our map variable. And now we're gonna try to access a specific field. Let me think. I'm gonna add a field profession. Okay, now I'm gonna try to get that. If I call the old function that we were using, we get new. But if we want to assign a default value for that profession, I can say that default is a student, maybe. So if you don't tell me like the profession of a specific user, I'm just gonna assume it is a student. And there you go. Now, remember that uh, we're not mutating anything here. We're just trying to, now we're extracting a value from that map, but later on this video, we're gonna try to add new values to this map, and we're never going to mutate the original variable, okay? Map is still the old map. Unless I specifically assign map once again to another thing, map is still the old map that we created. Okay, so we learned how to get a value from a map. How do I add a new value to a map? So what if I want to add the profession field to the map if I already have an existing map? So we have another very useful function from the map module called put. So without me explaining anything, how do you think that works? Let's try this out together. I'm gonna pass the map as the first argument. I think it makes sense in my mind that the put function here is expecting 3 parameters. The first one being the variable that I want to I was gonna say mutate, but we never mutate anything on Elixir. So the first argument is the variable that we want to transform. The second argument is probably the new field that I want to add, the name of that field. So I'm gonna add, it's an atom, so profession, and sorry, not the default value. The value that we're gonna add to this map is student. Let's see if this works. It looks like it worked. If we check the old variable that we created in the beginning of this video, it's still the same. So if I want to transform it and save it on the original variable, I can do it like this. I'm gonna call this map.put, and I'm gonna save it to the original variable. So map equals map.put. Now, if I call map, there you go. We have the new map with the profession field added. Okay, now what if I want to edit a field? Like I want to change the age of this map. How can I do that? Now we have a special syntax for that, and it's the most common use case from my experience, which is like this. You're gonna get the syntax to create a new map, and then you're gonna pass your original map variable here. You're gonna add this vertical pipe here in the middle, and then you're gonna change whatever field you want to change here. So I want to change the age to, I don't know, 100. I'm gonna get super old. Let's see if it works. It works. And I can change multiple fields here. So if I want to change the age, but I also want to change the profession, maybe. So profession, gonna change it to developer. Okay, let's see if it works. This works. And what if I try to change one field that doesn't exist? So let's call another field called wrong. I'm gonna say that the value is 99. You're gonna get an error. So that's pretty much it. Of course, there are many more functions that you can call from the map module. If you want to learn all of them, you can access the documentation online from Elixir, or you can just type H on the terminal, map for the map module, dot, and then you're gonna press tab to see all the functions available. You can also press tab twice to see all the functions that we have. So yeah, a bunch of cool stuff here, like the merge function. I already used it on my projects. We have pop, take, to list, some very useful stuff. But for this video, that's all. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time.